What's going on, everybody? This is Sport Zone Media with your host, Ernie. And this is not Justin is sick. This is Brett Creel. This is one of our good buddies. Justin's out sick, and we hope you feel better, buddy. And hopefully, next episode, you'll be here. But for now, this is Brett. Welcome, Brett, to Sport Zone Media. Glad to have you, brother.
Awesome. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. I'm glad you were able to fill in for us for Justin. Today, we are going to be talking about the NFL free agency, and it's not even football season, and football is going like crazy right now.
Brother,
The
stove is
hot.
definitely hot.
Yeah. So to start off, I mean, I didn't expect Saquon Barkley to sign with the Eagles.
Absolutely not. When you look at his numbers, man, 247 rushes for 962 yards last year. Honestly, I feel like Saquon, and this may be going out on a limb, but I feel like Saquon behind that Philadelphia offensive line could rush for 1,500 yards next year. I just feel like that his line, the line that he's running behind, is going to be so much better in Philadelphia. Even with losing Jason Kelce as the center, I feel like that line is still one of the strongest lines in the NFL, and he still got so much talent to live up to.
Yeah, Saquon, he signed a 3-year, $37.5 million deal. It's not a Todd Gurley contract where he got a lot of money, and that's where teams started to get scared to sign running backs to big contracts.
Right.
Look what happened to Gurley. His knees all messed up.
Look, that Gurley contract was ridiculous. I mean, and he never truly even lived up to that contract either.
No.
I feel that Saquon and Gurley are two totally different aspects of the game.
Yeah, but like you said, Barkley behind that O line and what hurts at running back. He's at QB, and that RPO, man.
Then you got to look at it, but then you got to look at it this way too. You have AJ Brown on one side and Devontae Smith on the other side. So now you're not focused on one aspect of the game. Where here lately it was either Hurts just running the ball, or you had AJ Brown or Devontae Smith, and so all you had to worry about, they had a running back. They've always been run back by committee, really, until last year. And then I feel like with this elite running back coming in, it opens up the game forward because you can't focus on one aspect of the game. You can't focus just on the run game. You have to focus on the pass game as well. And that opens up a whole new game for Saquon, I believe.
Yeah. And, like you said, hopefully AJ Brown doesn't get too mad that he's not getting the ball thrown at him.
Right.
10 times a game. But, their
touches are definitely going to go down.
Yeah. This is a complete team. They have, like you said, Brown, Devontae Smith, Hurts, Barkley, and they also have Dallas Goedert out in.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, this team, even last year could go all the way, but now this year, since they have Barkley, can definitely do some damage. And
they definitely took steps forward.
Yeah, the Giants. I mean, I don't know if it was the Giants not making a run for Barkley or not, but Giants just are in no position to really against the Eagles or really the Cowboys, So
no, they're not. I mean, honestly, they Singletary, and I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was a crazy deal. Moving on to the next guy, Josh Jacobs. Moving on from the Raiders, going to the Packers on a 4-year, $48 million deal.
I feel like I think Jacobs is not. I don't think he's reached his peak yet, but I feel like he's at a place right now where there's not much between Oakland and Green Bay in my opinion as a running back. Yes, is Green Bay better than Oakland? Obvious, or Vegas, however you want to say it. But the Packers and the Raiders, you're not much difference as far as the offensive lines, in my opinion. I feel like it's kind of a lateral move. Last year, 233 touches, 805 yards, and let me see, what was it? 6 touchdowns. I mean, I feel like that increased to that. I feel like he can make the 10 touchdown mark. I feel like where he's at, it's not much of an advance, but I feel like it's a good move for him. And a change of scenery sometimes is good for a running back, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tell you what, man, the Packers, if they can get some good receivers. I mean, this
Yes,
team is coming up. Jordan Love, I think, is the real deal. I mean, last year he had a great year. I haven't been so high on Jordan Love, but last year the way he played, I think I'm buying in on this dude.
definitely took steps forward.
Yeah,
Definitely took steps forward.
yeah. So, uh, good running back for the Packers. Not Jacobs, former Packers running back Aaron Jones has
Aaron Jones.
signed a 1 year deal with the Vikings for I believe 7.5. No, just 7 mil. But yeah, the Vikings need a QB. Kirk Cousins obviously went to Atlanta, but we'll get into that in a little bit. If the Vikings can get a good quarterback, they have Jefferson. They have what's his name? Hawkinson.
Yeah, they have Hawkinson. They have Madison.
Yeah, Addison, I
Um,
think.
Addison,
Addison,
Jordan
yeah,
Addison. That's it, Jordan
yeah.
Addison.
So yeah, they just need a
I mean,
QB, man.
and I was that's what I was curious. And we know Aaron Jones was hurt most of the year
Yeah,
last year. I mean, only 142 touches, 656 yards, and two touchdowns. That's I mean that he was hurt most of the year, but I feel like that the Packers need to do more. I don't think Aaron Jones can do it all by himself. As far as if they don't have a quarterback, that team's toast. I'm
yeah,
just going to be honest with you, because it's going to be if they can't get the ball to Jefferson, they can't get the ball to Jordan Addison, they can't get the ball to Hawkinson, and it has to rely all on Aaron Jones. It's going to be hard for him. I do feel like that he's still got a lot left in him. I still feel like that he can still bring something to the
mhm.
Vikings, but at the end of the day, they gotta find a quarterback, man.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
gotta find a losing Kirk Cousins hurt.
Yeah, and in a way, I guess you could say, well, the Vikings should have kept him. Well, I don't really know if I would have kept a 35-year-old QB with the
35-year-old for QB, yeah,
coming off a torn Achilles for a guaranteed $100 million.
yeah,
That's a lot of money.
yeah,
But yeah, Kirk Cousins signed with the Falcons for 4 years, $180 million contract, 40 million signing bonus, 50 million guarantee. So you add the signing bonus and the guaranteed money together, 100 mil. So monster payday for Kirk Cousins. I think he
yeah.
deserves it. I mean, I think he's as a QB, and now the Falcons are probably the favorite to win the South.
I don't know if I go that far with a 35-year-old Kirk Cousins. I am not a Bijan Robinson. I don't have faith in Bijan.
Okay.
He's not showed anything that offensive line is horrible. I mean, you
Yeah.
trade Calvin Ridley. I mean what you got left? Dallas Pitts. I mean, or Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's yeah. So you trade away probably your best receiver, and all you got your tight end, and your offensive line is horrible.
Yeah.
I honestly still think it's that NFC South is the Bucks to lose, in my
I can
opinion.
see that. I'm just I like the Falcons and what they have. They drafted out of USC a few years ago.
Yeah,
They do have Kyle Pitts. They have Bijan. He's all right, and they also have they just traded for wide receiver. I think Moore from Arizona because they traded Desmond Ritter to Arizona
right.
for Moore. So they have playmakers out there in Atlanta. I know Saints fans ain't going to hear that, but I don't know, man. Saints need to get to work, son.
They ain't slacking, bro. They are slacking.
Man. But yeah, moving on to the next running back. I mean, we have running backs left and right signing to different teams and everything, So I guess it's good for the NFL, for fans to see like,
Yeah,
oh wow, like this really happening. Austin Eckler to the Washington Commanders. I did not see that one coming.
I did
Um,
not see that coming either.
Signed a 2 year, $11.43 million contract. Last year he was pretty banged up, and he's getting up there in age. So but they say around 28, 29, 30 as a running back. That,
Yeah,
in your prime anymore. No one really wants you. But
right.
last year he played hurt, and yeah, hopefully this year he could. I know I drafted him in a few leagues. I know he's a good running back. Obviously, he ain't with Chargers no more, but man,
Yeah,
who knows what the Commanders are going to do as a quarterback? Because I know they just traded
right.
away Sam Howell.
Yeah. I mean,
So
they have a lot
they,
of questions that have to be answered.
they definitely got to go QB at the draft at number two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I figure, I mean, don't be surprised if you see one of these young quarterbacks, maybe a Jaden Daniel, maybe a Michael Penix Jr. What pick, do you know what pick does Washington have in the draft this year?
I believe they have number two.
Oh, it's going to be early then. So
Yeah,
don't be surprised if they do go quarterback early,
yeah.
because they
I
need one.
do what, man. I hope Jade. I don't know. I hope Jaden Daniels does go number two. I think he should go number one over Williams. That's my opinion. I think Daniels has more potential. He has more of a higher ceiling to me, and
You don't
but
want to get my thoughts on Williams.
yeah, I think he's good. I just don't. I haven't bought into him yet. He is a top
Right,
five.
right.
He is a top five draft pick, I believe. But Daniels over Williams any day.
Yeah.
But
But
moving on.
As far as Eckler, man, I feel like I mean here the last few years, besides him being hurt last year, obviously he was hurt. 179 attempts, 628 yards. 2 years before that, I've never realized this. Did you know that Austin Eckler has never rushed for over 1,000 yards? Has never rushed. No, 2022 was his best year at 915 yards and 13 touchdowns. I mean, so he's never been 1,000 yard rusher, but he's always contributed also out of the backfield, receiving the ball is a lot where he gets his totals. I mean, you can look at his totals. He had in 2022, he had 722 yards receiving. I mean, how many times running backs? That's in 2022, with the last healthy year he's had. How many times have you seen a run? How many times you see a running back go for over 700 yards receiving as well?
Right,
It doesn't
right.
happen very often. That's what makes him so vital when it comes to the game itself, because he not only brings it to the passing game, to the rushing game, but he always brings it to the passing game as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been the last 2, 3 years. He's been pretty consistent with the passing game.
Yeah,
Like you said, he's not really the best. He's not really the best runner out the backfield.
no,
He's a pretty small guy, So, but
yeah.
he's kind of like a Pacheco. He's a dude, but he can get going when he's rolling.
He reminds me of like a Bowles almost.
Yeah,
I mean, he gives you what you need out of the backfield, but at the same time, he gives you what you need the passing game as well.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Moving on to Eckler's former teammate, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen traded to the Chicago Bears for a fourth round pick. The Chargers wanted him to take a pay cut, and Allen was not about it. So he got traded.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. And, it's like a rebuild right now in LA. They cut Mike Williams. They let Eckler go, and then they just traded away Allen. Only man in the room. It's like a Will Smith, that meme. He's the only one in the room.
I feel bad for Herbert.
Yeah, and shoot, he might get traded too. JJ McCarthy might be a Charger.
I mean, when we talk Keenan Allen, you look at 108 receptions, 1,200, and I don't know how I can't see how many touchdowns, but you're talking about a receiver
Yeah.
that every year he's played literally he's 30 years old, 31 years old. The last 5 out of 7 years he's been over 1,000 yard receiver. I mean, the man is still
He's still
rolling. I
rolling.
mean,
Yeah.
last year he's still rolling. I mean, even at 30 years old, and I understand the older you get, once you pass that 30 mark, they feel like everybody begins to drop off. But
Mhm.
this man's not. This man is
Yeah.
still going. This man is still putting up 1,000 yards every year. And like last year, 7 touchdowns for 2023. And you're talking about 11 and a half yards per reception.
Yeah.
11 and a half yards of reception, man. That's awesome, dude, for a 31-year-old. And they want him to take a pay cut. There's no way, dude. I feel like Keenan Allen made the right decision. Said, "Hey, look, I'm not taking a pay cut." So they let him go. I mean,
Yeah. I
I
understand
don't blame him.
I understand where Allen's coming from. Could it into a team? Maybe. But I don't know if the Bears
Yeah,
know what they're gonna do at QB. They have Justin Fields right now. Who's all right, he does need some work. He hasn't had the weapons he has now.
but don't forget DJ Moore's on the other side.
Exactly. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and they just signed DeAndre Swift. this offseason.
Yeah.
So now, what do? You have your receivers. Do you draft Caleb Williams just in case Fields doesn't pan out, or do you still draft Harrison? Because I feel like that's the top two guys right now for to
absolutely.
be drafted number one.
Yeah, you don't want my opinion. You don't want my opinion on that as either.
You go number one, huh?
Well, no, I'm talking about as far as Harrison.
What you got on Harrison?
When you look at the numbers, he ain't even the best. I'm a fan, you know it, but he's not even the best receiver in my opinion in the draft.
Yeah,
when you look at the numbers.
Yeah, Neighbors, Malik Neighbors had better numbers than Harrison last year, and
Absolutely.
Harrison is the higher prospect because of his daddy. Okay, I mean, let's just say that.
He's running off of his name. I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, that's we'll save all that for later. We ain't going to try to upset nobody. So moving on to the next running back, a very crazy, rare trade, release and trade that happened. Joe Mixon was supposed to get released from the Bengals and then ended up getting traded to the Texans for a 7th round pick, and then goes back and signs a 3-year extension with Texans for $27 million.
Yeah.
$13 million guaranteed. So props to him. Happy for him for getting paid. He deserves it. I mean, he treated the city of Cincinnati with love and respect, and he was very hurt to get traded. I don't think he expected that.
I mean, you think about it. When you look at the numbers from last year, Joe Mixon was the 6th best running back in the whole NFL. Yeah. The 6th best running back. I mean, 257 attempts for 1,034 yards, averaging 4 yards a carry and 9 touchdowns. Yeah. I mean, that's for a running back of his age. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's 20 years old. For some reason, everybody thinks he's old, really is, but he's not. Yeah. Only 27. He's still got a lot of football left in him.
He's been
been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But he's been hurt a lot as well.
Yeah. And so he's having some off-field issues as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that had anything.
But I mean, you look at the running backs that was in front of him: Christian McCaffrey, obviously, Raheem Mostert, Travis Etienne, Kyren Williams, and Derrick Henry. Those are the 5 running backs that were in front of him this year. I mean, right. The dude's still putting up numbers like crazy.
With a not so good O-line neither.
No, that offensive line is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, just Mixon, he knows how to. He just needs to stay in shape, stay healthy, and don't do stupid things off the field.
Right. And I feel like that move to Houston.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. Houston's building. Houston's definitely building.
Houston's ready now.
Yes. DeMeco Ryans something going over there.
Yeah.
And I feel like C.J. Stroud's coming on.
That dude's a baller.
That dude's a baller, bro. I mean, they've got. I feel like adding Joe Mixon is being where they need to be, and I feel I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they win their division this year.
I can see that. I mean, absolutely, with the offense they have, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Their defense ain't too bad neither.
No, I mean when you got Will Anderson coming off the edge, it's just
Will Anderson. Got what's his name? Stingley. Derek Stingley.
Oh, Derek Stingley, yeah. I forgot he was on that team.
Yeah, he's good too, man.
That's the thing, man. They're good, but they're young.
Yeah.
If they play their cards right, if they play everything out right, they can grow for a long time.
Yeah, and that's also another reason why they signed Danielle Hunter to a big contract, defensive end.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude is a monster on the end. And he got a big contract. He got a 2-year deal, $49 million, and $48 million is guaranteed. Like most of his contract is guaranteed.
Holy smokes!
Yeah,
but you looking at $24 million, making $24 million a year.
Yeah, this dude's making big money. He's good though, so I guess he deserves it. But moving on, like you said, and one of those names, Derrick Henry, the King, no longer in Tennessee. No longer in Tennessee. He gone. He is moving on to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson in the backfield. So we shall see how that goes.
I like that move, honestly. I like that move at 30 years old, man. I feel like when he was at Tennessee, it was
Just all him.
basically it was him. It was him. There for a while. I mean, you think about it, 349 rushes, bro. Oh, no, we're 1,500 yards. Last year, everybody's like, oh, he's done.
Mhm.
He still rushed 280 times for 1,167 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, and 12 touchdowns. I don't think it's just. I feel like that
He-
the pressure that people's putting on him, he's not living up to, but he's still rushing for great numbers. I mean, and
yeah.
I feel like him being there with Lamar Jackson and being in there with Mark Andrews and take some of that pressure off of him is going to help his up as well, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Henry signed for a 2-year, $16 million deal, $9 million guaranteed. I think he well deserves a little more money, but you know,
Yeah,
if you want to play with Lamar Jackson, who's getting paid big money, then you kind of have to take a little less money. But then again, the running backs just ain't getting paid right now, man.
right, right. I want you to get this. Derrick Henry's never rushed for under 4 yards a carry. Certainly under
Like,
4 yards a
yeah,
carry.
yeah,
So 2019 and 2020 were his highest at 5.1 and 5.4. Every other year has been 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, 4.9. He's always been in that 4 yards a carry. You don't see many running backs rushing for 4 yards a carry. That's almost halfway to a first down every time he touches the ball.
yeah. And he's kind of like, I mean, the dude just keeps balling year in and year out. He's just consistent. If he stays on the field, he's going to produce.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. And I also think that takes a lot off of Lamar Jackson to open up. Dude, can you see the run pass option with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson?
yeah,
That's going to be crazy.
man, RPO. It's going to be a read. The end come out. It's going to be a fake on both Henry and Jackson. He's probably going to throw up to Andrews for a play action pass, man.
Dude, that's going to be sweet. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah,
That's going to be sweet.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, right now I would pick Baltimore to win the division only because the Bengals lost Mixon.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're not bringing back Tyler Boyd, and it sounds like T. Higgins might get traded. Missing some guys on the offensive side, and they also lost a guy on the defensive side, DJ Reader. He's going to Detroit
Yeah.
on a 2-year deal, and about 2 years, $27.5 million, I believe it was. I mean, the dude got paid.
Absolutely.
So happy for him. Obviously, the Bengals. I don't know. I feel like they're cooking something, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless they're just trying to save money and pinch pennies, they got to do something quick because Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's a team to beat right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And let's see. They also signed. Bengals signed Mike Gesicki, tight end, to a 1-year deal. That's the guy who doesn't gritty too.
I mean, they also got Zach Moss.
Yeah.
Now, do I feel like Mixon and Zach Moss are two different total boats? Yes. I feel like Zach Moss to me has not showed to me what he could do, and I feel like him coming from Buffalo to Cincinnati is going to be hard for him because let's just be honest, Buffalo has an awesome offensive line. They have an all around great team, but now he's coming to a place where the offensive line is weaker, and now to try to be the lead back in Cincinnati, and I don't feel like that it's going to pan out as good as it is for him.
Right. No, I understand, but Mixon, Moss ain't no Mixon, so it's
No.
and he's also Moss is a lot cheaper as well, and
Yeah.
and younger. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what the Bengals are cooking, but they need to get on it and see where that goes. Some big news came out yesterday that Aaron Donald retiring. Ain't that crazy?
Sad day for football, man. I didn't even see that coming. I mean, just what 3 years ago, they were playing in the Super Bowl, and I mean Super Bowl MVP, and now I'm retiring.
Yeah, and I mean the dude's been a baller his whole career. You look what he's done. His resume speaks for itself, and the year 2029, I believe he'll be for the Hall of Fame, and he will 100% be in the Hall of Fame first year.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He deserves that gold jacket, and props to him on a great career.
Absolutely.
But I think we're almost done. We got a couple more guys. Calvin Ridley out of nowhere to Tennessee.
Yes.
I mean, the dude got paid. I mean, 4 years, $92 million with $50 million fully guaranteed. This is a dude who didn't have the greatest year last year. He had a decent year, but
Yeah.
the last two teams were the Jaguars and the Patriots to what I saw, and then Tennessee comes out of nowhere. So Ridley
Swipes him up.
Yeah, and props to getting paid. I mean, he got paid. That's big money.
Yeah.
For a guy because of betting as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's good for him. But if he ain't got nobody throwing the ball, it's gonna be hard. Tennessee needs a quarterback. Let's just be honest. Malik Willis has not panned out. They drafted him in like the first or second round 2 years ago, and he's never really panned out. Tannehill's he's old, man. They really they got to have somebody that can get him the ball, because I mean, I see his numbers going down. I mean, last year you think 76 receptions, 1,016 yards, 13.4 yards of reception. I mean, that's great numbers. But at the same time, and that's with Desmond Ridder throwing him the ball. I mean, that's not even a big time quarterback the ball.
Well, he was with the Jaguars last year.
That's right. Yeah, he had a moment. I don't know why. Look, I had a brain moment. Yeah, I had a brain moment. So that's Lawrence throwing the ball. So I could see that. His numbers, I feel like, let's look at his numbers with no decent quarterback. I mean, 2021, obviously, he only played in 5 games. But 2020, which was here, obviously, he had 90 receptions for 1,374 yards. But 2 years before that was 866 yards and 821 yards. So his 2020 year was actually his best year, where with a decent quarterback last year, he had 136 targets and 116 yards. But that's with a quarterback that's a top 10 quarterback, in my opinion, in Trevor Lawrence. That's on the rise. I feel like it's something good. But now you go to a team that has no quarterback, that's getting that Tannehill's getting older, and I feel like that they need somebody at the ball. I'm gonna go out on a limb and says he don't even surpass 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, I don't see that. They do have Will Levis at QB, who they've been trying to see how he's done, but
neither of them have panned out. Levis hasn't panned out. Malik Willis hasn't panned out, and Tannehill's just getting old. Man, I feel like they need somebody that they can turn the program over to, whether it be a trade. Don't be surprised they go out and make a trade for a quarterback. I wouldn't be shocked if they done that. And because they need somebody, man.
Yeah, and there's a reason why got fired. I mean, Vrabel didn't. I don't think he really wanted to be a part of this rebuild. He was very upset whenever the team traded away. Was it Hopkins?
Yeah.
Big time guy? Maybe it wasn't. It was to the Eagles. He was very upset.
To the Eagles.
He was very upset about that move. He wasn't pleased with it. And I think ever since then, man, him in the front office just clashed heads, and I don't think they could have fixed it.
And they also brought Tony Pollard in at running back.
Yeah. So
I feel like that. Right. I think that was a good sign as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, quarterback. That's all it boils down to. I feel like if they can get a quarterback that can be in this for a long time, but that has proven himself, I feel like Tennessee could go somewhere. But it's going to take get a quarterback in there.
No, yeah, I agree. They have 7 picks in the NFL draft this coming year. Let's see. I'm trying to see what pick they got. I don't know. They have the 7th pick this year in the draft. So they could definitely get QB at 7.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't think Daniels will be there. I'm pretty sure Williams won't be there. You probably have Nick.
Maybe a Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah. He's good, but the thing that scares me is his injury history. He's already got two torn ACLs.
Yeah.
So They also have Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy. So we'll see what happens. Just a lot going on in the NFL, and there's still moves to
Yeah,
be made. The draft is about, I think, 39 to 40 days away, I believe it was.
yeah.
So time will tell with all the moves that still need to be made. And yeah, we're just very thankful for y'all to continue watching us. Please support us. Please like, share, subscribe. And thank you, Brett, for coming on the show and to filling for Justin. We appreciate it, man.
Oh man, look, it's a pleasure, man. I definitely enjoy watching, and thank you for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure being on and to talk a little football today.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. Hopefully we could have you on with Justin next time, and we're hoping Justin feels better. But yeah, till next time, thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.